As-salamu alaykum, Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, the enemy from within and amongst the believers who profess faith is great, but the good things shared are constantly attacked in the most subtle ways by acquaintances. How do we counter this?
With the inner munafiq, this is the whole understanding. What was that question again?
Sayyidi, the enemy from within and amongst the believers who profess faith is great, but good things shared constantly attacked in the most subtle ways by acquaintances. How do we counter this?
Yeah, but are those acquaintances believers or unbelievers? If they're unbelievers and somebody says, oh, you know why you have to have like that beard in the picture? Okay, that's not an attack because that's a person who doesn't believe. If they believe they would put a beard too. So that's not an issue. That's why we said the left and the right, those whom went astray and those whom angered Allah is not our problem. We don't sit there and start cursing them, Allah already will deal with who went astray and who angered Allah. But it's the one who says, oh yeah I'm tariqah too, then they look at your post and say, why did you put so much about the shaykh? Why don't you post about this Menki guy and his new Qur'an that has only 89 verses or the surah? What the heck is that? They watch everything, they think everything is okay until you go 99 steps with the devil and he flips you. He flips you on the last one. Allah, you walk one step, He dresses you with 99 blessings. The devil's the reverse, he's like the dealer. He give you 99 steps, he's with you, doesn't show anything. The last step he flipped your entire life because then you find out on the website, who was this person? What did they really represent? They talked in such a nice way, but their aqeedah and their madhab is not the one that is recognized. So this is how the devil operates, and that's why people have to be vigilant. If you got to the tariqah and Allah opened for you the tariqah, stay with the tariqah, learn from the tariqah, eat from the tariqah. Once you've mastered all the knowledges of this tariqah, this websites, you come to me and we talk about it. Until then there's enough food for you to sustain yourself. So why are you trying to learn something different? Why are you reading that, reading this and confusing yourself on every other email? Not this person but everybody. Where do they get this email from that I'm confused about this subject, I'm confused about that subject, I'm confused.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below. The programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Confused about the taweez. Who confused you? You went and sat with the shaitan and then now you came back and you're confused? That's not the way. So that's the danger. The same people they don't like taweez but they allowed a concert in Riyadh. How the guy making tawaf and they came and they tried to imprison the guy for wearing a taweez. It's ruqyah. So why you don't imprison the guys who put a concert in Riyadh? This is against Islam, not these things.
As-salamu alaykum, Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Regarding jinn attack, when we sleep, does this apply if we are put to sleep during an operation as well? Please forgive for any bad adab. Thank you for everything that you do for us.
Yeah, inshaAllah you make your madad like anything else. If you're going in for surgery, they won't let you to have taweez and things upon yourself. You make your madad and make your du'as that the nazar of the shaykhs to be upon you, and inshaAllah they do the procedures they have to do and the doctors do what they have to do and the recovery to come out inshaAllah. that Allah allow the servant to come out of anesthesia and the difficult things that happen within surgery, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Is there any relation between ruku and breathing?
Ruku and breathing? Sure. That's what we said, if you want to do your, not the salah is you have to do it the way the salah has to be done, but the movements within the salah you want to breathe during those movements, they have an immense energy. So that's when we talked the other night about sacred movement. So when somebody moves disrespectfully, they go to say they want to go to a gym, they want to do things, they want to move too much, and you're creating a disturbance in an energy field, and as a result these creatures are coming through. If you have to ask yourself always, if I could see what was happening, would I do it? If you moved in a particular inappropriate way and you saw like very scary creatures start approaching towards you, running towards you, you would never do that, because you're like, unless something's wrong with you and you like that. So besides that fact, then you do sacred movement. So then you say, okay, every time I breathe and I stand for Allah's azimat, because you're now standing in the alif. So in the salah when you stand, this is the secret of alif, and asking from the angel that carries this secret, who's the guardian of this huruf, that dress me from that. And then you breathe and visualize that you're in Divinely Presence. And then when you go into ruku, it's the ocean of ha. These are from the oceans of al-hayat and everything else that you learn from that huruf of what that ha is, and again breathing with that reality. So yeah, you can unlock that as a form of meditation. And then sujood, immensely powerful, right? Because there must be an immense secret of the Muhammadan reality, so that this azimat dress the servant, Bahr al-Hayat dress the servant, the Bahr al-Muhit, that everything exists within Muhammadun Rasulullah dress the servant. And as soon as they come back into tahiyyat, he's dalal khairat. The Prophet is the best of guides, he's the guide to all goodness. So that dal is the one that pulling you to the alif, right? The huruf, the dal is dalal khairat. The best of Allah's guides to where? To the alif, which is what? Allah. So the alif in Ahmad stays separate, right? This is a immense reality of Nabi Ahmad. So if anyone wants to reach to the alif, they have to pray alif ha mim dal. And what's ha mim dal? Hamd, the praise, the most praised one. Come to the door of the most praised one, who like an elevator will shoot you up to the alif, which is Allah's Divinely Presence. So everyone needs that dalal, dalal khairat, the best of guides. And that dal will take you to the reality of Muhammadun Rasulullah. That meme, everything is in that meme, right? Muhammad Rasulullah. So the all encompassing from every creation, from Lahul Mahfuz, from the Bayt al-Mahmud, anything you think of in paradise, and malaika come from what? That meme. They come out, they become malaika, they come out, they become Lahul Mahfuz, they come out, they become Bayt al-Mahmud. Everything is from Muhammadun Rasulullah. They say, no, it's from Allah. Are you crazy? Then you're saying there's a partner with Allah and that you go back to Allah and that you breathe the space with Allah and you became now shareek with Allah. No, astaghfirullah. Allah is like you trying to do the marifah of your computer and you think, well, Zishan's in the computer. It's not Zishan, he built the computer. When he wants he can unplug his computer. unless you become like AI and overtake your home and take over your devices, your everything in the house. But no, this is a creation. Allah said, I'm the power of your creation. Anytime I want I'm going to unplug your whole universe, it doesn't matter. So Allah's not in this creation, Allah is the power of this creation. So just the alif, ha, mim, dal is the whole secret of the miraj. So you have to come to this guide, you have to come to the reality of Prophet. He will make you from the people of al-hayat, those who reached eternity. Because you can't go to Allah's presence without being eternal. Because if you don't have da'im, if you're not somebody who is eternal, what Allah want to do with you? And the only one who take him like a rocket ship is Prophet. So in any way we look, Allah put the secrets right there, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, the battlefield of oneself is immense and alhamdulillah madad is really helping. Should we recite madad when the others are trying to put doubts in our heads?
Yeah, I don't know the others and I don't know who you know, so try to isolate yourself from people who try to put doubt. And make your madad and have your taweez and keep silent. So we have other talks like that. Life is about a chess game. So Imam Ali the master of this reality is that everything you do you have to think and contemplate, don't quickly speak. Every move you make you have to contemplate and make the move in your heart. If I go here they're going to say that, if I go there they're going to say that. Everything has to be contemplated, and as a result if you live your life like that you pretty soon can move very fast thinking of every direction, and that you try never to step in a place that you're going to receive a difficulty. So you know that when you go to certain places this person always going to say something about the sunnah, this person going to say about this person going to say about that. You stay quiet, don't enter to shaitan's trap that as soon as you open your mouth you look bad because you now got angry, you started saying all sorts of things and shaitan's like, ha see I told you. So you know when it's going to happen, stay quiet. Try to avoid those confrontations and those associations, and when we can't then at least we go there understanding and stay quiet. So you're like, I know what shaitan's planning. That person when they open their mouth to ask something just smile at them and eat a cookie. I can't talk right now. And then you defeat shaitan's attack to humiliate you again in front of people.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, how do we overcome thoughts of being undeserving of the honor of tariqah? How do we overcome sadness and fear that we will never win this Jihadil Akbar?
Do a khidmat and don't think too much. Go out and be of service, and that through your service inshaAllah Allah keep us always under this rahmah and this mercy. You're not to think about winning. We've given talks again before. Victory and what Allah thinks is victory is not what you think is victory. You think victory is by achieving a goal. Allah's victory is you put a good fight and you don't ever stop your fight. So victorious rijal is not the one whom stood for the first time and accomplished everything, but he was the one who got knocked down the most and he never stayed down. But everyone tried to take him down, everyone tried to attack, everyone trying to do this, and always back up and moving. So they're continuously fighting in life to make sure Allah's happy with them. So victory is not, oh I accomplished this, I accomplished that, I got this money, I got this house, I got these things, or Allah doesn't like me. No, that's not Allah's game at all. Allah's like about fighting. Allah wants to see, you're going to fight it, you're going to put in a good battle to reach your goal, or you're going to give up like that. If you're going to give up like that, go join shaitan. He's going to give you a flag that you can wave. But to carry the banner of La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah is not something easy. Carry the sunnah, carry the way, everything is about to fight. So understand, to fight in the spiritual fight is most important, that your devil is going to whisper to you to put your flag down. You say, no, I'm not putting the flag down.
As-salamu alaykum, Shaykh.
Wa alaykum salam rahmatullah.
Shaykh, you spoke about the tafsir of Grand Shaykh's defining of Yajuj wa Majuj. Can you please expand more on this? Would it be safe to say we are against Yajuj wa Majuj?
Against? Yajuj and Majuj are coming to eat people. They're the cursed from Allah. On the Miraj of Prophet he was sent to every nation to accept Islam. So he came across the nation of Yajuj, Gog, and there's another nation Magog. Said as he professed Islam, none of them were interested, and then Allah cursed them. So they are a cursed nation, they're coming to destroy. And from Mawlana Shaykh's tafsir, that these are not something from earth, that they're going to come from a hidden gate that they tried to come and it didn't open for them. There's a barrier that they're coming from, and that barrier is from outside of our understanding. And when they come, they're like aliens, they're coming in millions, hundreds of millions, and they come small, big, large, and all in between. And we said that the Gog nation is 400,000 nations within them, their fleets will be coming in. Magog, another 400,000 nations, and each within their nations billions of them. So they're coming to attack, they're coming to eat people, eat everything. Like we described, they take the energy of everything, and as a result there'll be nothing left. So this is a very end time, these things are coming. But until then these Dajjal is of that nation too, not the Gog and Magog, but the Dajjal is a Jinn. And this is where his powers are, and that he works with the jinns and these what they call aliens, but they're all jinns. So then they're going to start using their hocus pocus and start using the images of ships. They're going to do everything they can to get people to be pulled into one direction. But why we don't all come together to fight these ships, and they will unify all to fight these ships, and we'll unify our relationship to fight these ships. So one nation, right? They're going to bring everybody to oneness, to one. Then we say, we're all the same, wa la ilaha illallah. No, they're not one, because we are people of Muhammadun Rasulullah.
As-salamu alaykum, Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, a farmer marks his herd with tags.
Yeah.
Is our SMC logo that tag? And thank you for all the amazing SMC clothing. Now my new difficulty is going to the bathroom at work and all my clothes have the logo.
Yeah, those are meant to be taken off, right? So the jacket is taken off to have just a regular shirt under, and you go wash. At night time you have an undergarment for healing, right? So Yasin is a healing. When anyone gets sick you have this Yasin, is like a medicine thing. If very bad flu, very bad sicknesses start to open upon this earth, you wear this Yasin as immense shifa. If anyone wears it they should feel an immense power emanating from it. So these are for healings, these are an undergarment for people who don't want to have necklaces all night long, and they use it as a shifa and healing. And the clothing, then it has to be something that taken off and entered into the facility. So don't wear something that you can't take off and go to the washroom with. But yeah, that was the first question. And that was the second question, but the first of yoking a cow is what shaitan does. So we don't yoke people, shaitan yokes his servants by piercing them, pulling things in their nose, putting things in their ears to say that, I own you. You know, when you want to move a cow you put a piercing in the nose because he's 900 pounds. So with the piercing on the nose you can move him very easy. As soon as they pierce their ears then they're saying, I have control over that servant's ears. That's shaitan yoking. So that's not something that has to do with the way of Rahman. The way of Rahman is a hijab, is a veil, it's armory. So if you go back and you study Islamic armory, when they would fight there was nothing that was not marked. Not these people because they lose every battle, but the part of our nation that never lost a single battle, go back to these warriors, their swords are all calligraphy, salawat, Qur'an, praising upon Allah, all the chest armour is all written, all their helmets were all calligraphy and writing salawat upon Prophet and then they would put the cloth around it. They were walking like the zawiyah, walking with all calligraphy around them. Why? Because it has immense power, angelic realities upon it and you can't strike at it. So these soldiers were immensely powerful. When people gave up the real way of Prophet and truly innovated by dropping it, they were defeated in everything. They shot them and went right through. Before, when they would fight these pious people, if you shot them the bullet would go right through because of their belief system and the strength of their belief. And in their battles they always did their zikr and then went out to fight. And this is why the Chechens were so feared in battle against the Russians. They would do all of their hadaras and zikrs, hadara zikr, the shaykh make a du'a and these men would go out. And if they ran out of munitions they merely picked up rocks, and from the verse of Qur'an where Allah described, we threw, it was not you that threw. Means Allah's hand was upon their hand, when they threw just a rock their devices were exploding because Allah's azimat and izzat is with them. So no, this was a system that was designed by Prophet and dropped by the munafiqeen, because the munafiqeen wanted to take the power out of Islam. But the way of Sayyidina Mahdi is definitely not with munafiqeen. And Sayyidina Mahdi by the time he comes upon earth 70,000 of these munafiq scholars will have perished. 70,000. The teaching of awliya, Mawlana Shaykh would always say that before his appearance 70,000 scholars will vanish, will disappear, will be taken off the face of the earth. That's how much we have of incorrect teaching. I can't even count 70,000 now if I try to. There's like 10 guys on YouTube, that's it. So who are the other 69,999? Yes, they must be everywhere, just spreading deceit, spreading shak and doubt, when the nation doesn't need that. They need to keep the love for Prophet. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al Mustafa wa bi siri Surat al Fatiha. فالشفاء يا رسول الكريم آمين يا رب العالمين. إن شاء الله بنياتي ختم خوجة كامل.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh John. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.